Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhynes, and I'm excited to bring you another episode absolutely free. This is one of over 80 episodes released monthly for your enjoyment. Now, let's get into this episode.
Hail Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Let's go, big fellow! Hail Silver!
Frank Higby, owner of the Bar H spread, was a gruff, hard man. He ran his ranch with an iron hand, delegating authority to no one. He was difficult to please when it came to hiring a foreman. Several had been hired and fired, and the man he had at the time, Mort Garber, had been taken on because he was almost as tough and as hard as Higby himself. But even Mort hadn't been at the Bar H long when matters reached a climax.
Oh, hi there. Oh.
Mort had just dismounted at the corral one day when Frank Higby came from the ranch house with fire in his eyes.
Hi, boss.
Don't you high-boss me, Garber.
What do you mean? What's the matter?
Didn't I tell you to keep my prize cattle on the West Range away from the other cattle? Didn't I?
That's right, you did, but the creek dried up over there and they couldn't get water. We had to move them to the valley for the time being.
Why didn't you speak to me about it before you moved them?
Doggone it, boss. As foreman here, I'm supposed to use my own judgment where the good of the cattle is concerned.
In other words, my judgment is no good, eh? Well, as of now, you aren't foreman of the Bar H any longer. Get your gear from the bunkhouse and clear out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah? Well, that suits me, Higby. You don't want a foreman around here. All you want's a yes man. I'll be mighty glad to clear out. But believe me, I won't forget the treatment I got here. You can bet on that.
Even Frank's wife, Mamie, was not immune to his gruffness and flaring temper. That evening, Frank entered the ranch house to get his supper.
Mamie! Mamie!
I have supper on the table in about 10 minutes, Frank. You know, I went to town today and
By thunder, that's no excuse. When I come in to eat, I expect to find my meals ready and waiting. If you didn't stop the gab all over town, you'd have been back in time.
Frank, I didn't stop at all to talk. I did my buying and drove right back to the range.
Well, yeah, where's Ronnie?
I told you he was going to visit the Trotters today, Frank. They'll bring him home after supper.
Why does the boy have to be going over there all the time? But when I come home, I like to find him here.
Trotters have a pony over there. Ronnie just begs all the time to go over and see him.
So that's it, eh? By thunder, I'll buy the ornery critter so the boy will stay home where he belongs. I'll get busy and bring him to supper.
Higby's boy, 8-year-old Ronnie, seemed to have struck the only soft spot in his heart. In his relationship with Ronnie, the gruffness and temper disappeared, and when the boy was present, was the only time that Frank Higby lost the hard expression on his face and smiled. The following day at noontime, Frank was late coming home to dinner.
I declare, last night, Ronnie, your father was upset because supper wasn't on the table. Now he's late for dinner.
Golly, Mom, you think something happened? Dad always comes on time.
I don't know what's keeping him, son, but I'm sure he'll be along soon. If he doesn't, I'll have to put the dinner back on the stove and just...
Oh, here he is now. Hi, Dad.
Howdy, son. I reckon you thought I was lost or something, didn't you?
Mom, he has dinner waiting.
Uh-huh. But he'll have to wait a little longer, Ronnie. I brought something I want to show you.
Golly, what'd you bring, Dad? Where is it?
Right out front. Here, come on.
Frank Higby, don't tell me you went and bought that...
Keep quiet, Mamie. You want to spoil everything? Now, Ronnie, get ready for a big surprise.
Gosh, I'm ready. A pony? He looks just like Rusty.
Rusty?
Yeah, the pony Trotters have. I named him Rusty.
Well, that is Rusty. I bought him from the Trotters. How do you like that, son?
Gosh, thanks a lot, Dad. I'm going to ride him right now.
Oh, but Ronnie, dinner is waiting.
Go ahead, Ronnie. Ride your new pony. You can eat later.
Oh, gee, thanks.
All right, Mamie, let's eat. By thunder, his face lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw that pony.
I declare, Frank, you're going to spoil the boy.
Well, he's my son, ain't he? Just eat your dinner. Let's not hear any more about it.
Meantime, the Lone Ranger and his Indian companion Tonto had camped in the hills not far from the Bar H ranch. As they saddled their horses, Tonto was saying,
You think rustlers still have hideout in this territory, Kimasabi?
Yes, Tonto. I understand they raided a ranch south of here 2 days ago. We'll stay a few days and try to find their camp. There, Silver. That cinch is tight enough.
I'm scout already now.
Oh, we need supplies. We'll get them before we come back. I hear hoofbeats.
Now, look. We see him now. It's boy and pony.
He doesn't seem to be frightened.
That's right.
Oh, Rusty, hold on.
Hello, son. Rusty's a mighty fine pony.
Uh-huh. Dad gave him to me. Are you an outlaw?
No, we're not outlaws.
But you have a mask on, mister. Why do you wear that if you're not an outlaw?
Are you good at keeping a secret?
Uh-huh.
Well, then I'll tell you. I wear the mask so people won't see my face.
Oh.
That's plenty good reason now, boy.
Uh-huh. Do you ever scalp people, Indian?
Oh, you not worry. Me not hurt you.
What's your name, son?
My name's Ronnie Higby.
I've heard of your father. Isn't he Frank Higby of the Bar H spread?
Uh-huh. You have a funny face, mister?
A funny face?
Uh-huh. You said you didn't want people to see it, didn't you?
Him have nice face, Ronnie.
Anyway, he has an awful nice smile.
Well, thanks, Ronnie. Let's forget the mask now and be friends, shall we?
Oh, sure. I bet most boys don't have a masked man and an Indian for friends, do they?
Well, perhaps not. Say, aren't you a long way from home?
Oh, no, sir. My father's ranch isn't very far away. I know the trail back all right.
You said you were good at keeping secrets, Ronnie. Suppose you don't tell anyone where our camp is, huh?
Oh, cross my heart, I'll keep it a secret honest. But will you let me come back to see you?
We'll not be here very long, only a few days. But we'll be glad to see you if you do come back. Well, we'd better start, Tonto.
Is that your name, Tonto?
That's right.
I like that name. Say, mister, where'd you get all those shiny bullets? I never saw any like that before.
These are silver bullets, Ronnie. Here, I'll give you one to remember us by.
Oh, golly. Thanks a lot. I better get back home now. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Ronnie.
Bye, Ronnie. Him nice little feller.
Yes. I wish I could explain my mask to grown-ups as easily as I did to him, Tonto. Well, let's go. Easy, steady, big
Got easy, feller. Come
At the cafe in town, the discharged foreman, Mort, stood at the bar talking to the barkeep.
How things going, Ed?
All right, Mort. What are you doing in town this time of day?
I'm not working at the Bar H anymore.
Huh? Since when?
Since yesterday, had a run-in with that ornery coyote Higby. So I got fired.
And nobody stays with him long as foreman.
I know. But he can't treat me that way. Someday I'll find a way to get back at him.
Hey, mister. My friend over there wants to talk to you.
Huh?
Yeah, the hombre at that table.
Sure. You want to see me, stranger?
Oh, yeah. Sit down a minute, will you?
All right. Well, what's it all about?
I'm Kel Cushion, and he's Rocky Gulf. We know you're Mort Garber, who used to be with the Bar H.
How do you know I'm not still at the Bar H?
We overheard what you said to the barkeep, Mort.
Well, what about it?
No need to get your feathers ruffled, Mort. We got a proposition to make to you. That's right.
Go on.
We just heard you say you were going to get back at your former boss at the Bar H.
Yeah, and I mean just what I said, too.
Sure you did. Well, we'll be able to help you do it. Of course, if you're afraid of the law.
The law doesn't bother me as long as I don't get caught.
Yeah. I pegged you for that type of hombre, Mort. Now, if you're interested...
Sure, I'm interested.
And we'll take you to meet the hombre who runs our outfit. Come on, let's get going.
Mort and his two new friends rode out the west trail until they came to a shack in a secluded hollow near the border. They dismounted and entered the shack.
Sit it. Hey, Pedro, we brought an hombre we thought you'd want to meet.
What is this, senors? Why do you bring this stranger here?
Calm down now, Pedro. This is Mort Garber. He was foreman at the Bar 8 spread till yesterday. He got fired. He wants to get back at old man Higby.
Yeah, that's right. I'll make him sorry he ever got tough with me. But I don't get this setup.
You will, don't worry. And Mort, this is Pedro Madura from across the border.
Pedro Madura, the outlaw?
Yeah. But of course, amigo. I see you have heard of me, eh?
Well, I sure have. They say you and your gang have wrestled more steers than 6 other gangs put together.
You see, senors? Did I not tell you I should one day be most famous, no?
Yeah, sure. Now, look, Pedro. Mort could be a big help to us when we go after Higby's prize cattle.
But of course, you are most right, Rocky.
Oh, so that's the angle, huh?
Uh-huh. And if you don't like it...
Now, wait a minute. Put your shooting iron away, partner. You can count on me on anything that'll hurt Frank Higby.
Good for you, Mort. Kel, looks like we judged him right after all.
Yeah. Hey, how you going about getting those steers?
You will tell us where they are grazing, Senor Mort. And we shall go and take them and run them quickly over the border.
It won't be as easy as all that, Pedro. He keeps 4 cowpokes riding herd on those prize steers every night. Keeps them on the west range.
That is most interesting.
How many men do you have, Pedro?
We have 7, counting you, senor. Of course, you must realize you may not leave here now.
Well, if that's the way you want it, it's all right with me. It'll be a lot easier than being foreman at the Bar 8 spread.
Sit down, Mort.
All right.
Now we shall discuss the layout of the Bar H. Then we shall make plans so that it will be easy for us to take those prize cattle. This former boss of yours will be most sorry for his treatment of you after we are through, amigo. I promise you that.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger adventure. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue. That evening at the supper table, Ronnie was more talkative than usual, and his father, Frank Higby, sat listening with an indulgent smile on his lips.
Oh, golly. Rusty sure is a fine pony, Dad.
Well, I'm mighty glad to think so, son.
The man who wants to hide his face from people said so, too.
Ronnie, whatever are you talking about? Now, do eat your supper like a good boy.
But he does want to hide his face. He told me so.
Who told you so?
The masked man, Dad. I just told you.
Masked man? Heavens, Ronnie, the way you prattle on about crazy things is downright frightening at
But
times.
it's true, Mom. And you don't have to be frightened. He told me so. And so did the Indian. Oh, golly, you ought to see the horses they had. One was
Now, hold on, son. What's all this about a masked man and Indian, anyway?
Well, when I went for a ride on Rusty, I came to their camp. They were awful nice to me and said we could be friends.
Now, you just eat your supper and stop confusing people with that crazy talk about masked men and Indians and all that.
Yeah. But honestly...
I said keep quiet, son, and eat. Now do as I told you. Mimi, I'm going out to the bunkhouse and see that things are set for the night.
It was after midnight that night when a cowpoke rode hurriedly to the ranch house at the Bar H and dismounted.
Whoa. Mr. Higby! Mr. Higby!
Hey, what's all the pounding for at this time of night? What's the
Look,
matter?
yonder to the north range.
Eh? Fire! Jump in, Jupiter.
Yeah, we'll need all hands to save the cattle we have over that way.
Now ring the farm bell or rout out the men. Hurry. I'll be with you in a few minutes.
All right. This will get the men.
What's the matter? What you ringing that bell for, Joe?
Look yonder, prairie fire. It's spreading over the north range. The range riders have gone to move the cattle while I come to get you fellas.
All right, get your horses, men. Get over there pronto. Move the cattle and start a backfire before it spreads any more.
Hey, boss. Rustlers took the prize cattle.
What?
The other 3 hands went to help move the cattle from the north range. They left me with the prize herd. 6 or 7 outlaws wearing bandanas on their faces come along shortly after. They drove me off and took the herd.
You go to town for the sheriff. I'll wait here for him with a few of the men.
All right, boss. Get up there.
All right, now the rest of you, help move the cattle on the north range. I'll get going.
The prairie fire was just north of the Lone Ranger's camp. He and Tonto were awakened from their sleep by a warning from the great horse Silver.
Tonto, wake up.
Me wake. Silver, you warn him. Maybe... Oh, look to north.
Fire. We'll have to leave here, Tonto. It's moving this way. Smoke is drifting over the camp.
Hurriedly, the masked man and Indian saddled their horses. Then the Lone Ranger spoke.
We ride to the Bar H and warn them easy, steady,
Easy, Scout, easy, fella.
Come on, Silver!
While he waited for the sheriff to arrive from town, which was only a mile or so away, Frank Higby and a few of his men stood on the front porch watching the glow in the sky. Mamie Higby opened the door and came out, followed by Ronnie.
Why are you waiting here? That fire will spread, Frank.
Yeah, most of the men are going out there. We're waiting for the sheriff. Most important thing to me is to get after those rustlers.
Outlaws? Golly.
Say, Ronnie, you were talking about a masked man and Indian at supper tonight. By thunder, I bet they were real after all.
Oh, sure, Dad. I told you they were. I found their camp.
That may be the lead we're after. Now, where is that camp, son?
But, Dad, I promised not to tell anybody.
Son, tell us where that camp is, do you hear?
Please, Dad, don't ask me to tell.
Dagnabbit, I'll
Wait, Frank. Now, no use being rough with the boy. You're the one who taught him always to keep his promises, if he did make such a promise.
But I did, Mom. I just can't tell.
Go to your room. Go on. I'll attend to you later. We'll find those owl hoots somehow.
They're my friends. They're not outlaws. They're not.
It's the sheriff and his men. Hi, Higby. Ready to ride? Some men from town want to help fight that fire.
Good. There are plenty of men to fight the fire. What we'd better do, Sheriff, is to get after those rustlers before they get my prize herd across the border. Hit leather, man. My boy rode out the North Trail this afternoon. Says he found their camp. Maybe we'll be able to find it. They may have hidden the herd someplace close by for the time being. Let's go. Get him in.
Meantime, the Lone Ranger and Tonto had taken a different trail to the Bar H ranch. As they approached the front of the house, Tonto spoke.
Look, Kimasabi. Horses all gone from corral. Them already know about fire.
Who's
there?
We came to give warning about the fire. But it seems your men know about it.
If you came in from the range, please go find my husband. Tell him a masked man and an Indian.
We're friends of Ronnie's. He came to our camp this afternoon. Don't be frightened.
But Ronnie went to warn you. He took a shortcut to your camp. My husband with the sheriff and some men are trying to find the camp.
Find our camp?
Yes. They think you're with the gang that took the prize herd and started the fire. Ronnie wouldn't tell where the camp is. Then he left before I could stop him. If he rides too close to the fire...
We'll bring back Ronnie, Mrs. Higby. Don't worry. Which way did he go, do you know?
He rode out past the corral, heading for the range.
We'll try to pick up his trail. The moon's bright. All right, let's go, Tonto.
After following the North Trail a short distance, Higby brought the others to a halt.
Yeah, that fire seems to be getting worse. Let's head over that way and help the others. Forget the cattle for the time being.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do now.
I told them to start a backfire. But I want to be sure they drove off all the cattle so we won't lose any.
It'll be tough if some of them got caught between the two fires. Let's get going. Get up there.
Get up.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto easily followed Ronnie. The cowpokes fighting the fire had spread out in a thin line across the range. As the masked man and Indian approached, they saw torches in the hands of the men being applied to the dry, tall grass.
Look, Kimasabi. Men starting backfire.
Ronnie rode beyond the point where they're starting it, Tonto. The boy will be trapped.
Look. He sees someone way out in range. Him show up against light from fire.
Must be Ronnie Higby. Come on, still there.
Hey, wait. Come back. Hey.
Faster, big fella. Come on, still there.
As the wall of flame of the backfire rose, Frank Higby with the sheriff and the others arrived and reined to a stop.
Yeah, that'll stop the prairie fire, man.
Oh, there, whoa. Frank, it's Ronnie. He came this way.
Ronnie, what is this, baby?
He was going to warn his masked friend. I couldn't stop him.
Holy mackerel.
The masked man and an Indian came to the house. Then they started after Ronnie.
Hey, I saw them. They went out there just as we started the backfire. I yelled at them, but they kept going.
And Ronnie must be between the two fires. We've got to do something. We must save my boy.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto rode to where Ronnie sat waiting on his pony. The frightened boy cried out as they stopped beside him.
Golly, the fire! It's coming both ways. I was trying to warn you.
We know, son. I'll take you up here with me. There you are. Tonto, lead the pony. We'll make better time that way.
Be catch reins.
The flames haven't closed into the right yet. We'll try to get through there. Come on, Silver!
Come on.
Higby and the others watched for some time as the two lines of flames gradually moved together. Then Frank spoke brokenly.
It's too late. They must have been trapped out there.
Ronnie, my poor boy.
Hey, look! A masked man and an Indian. The Indian's leading my boy's pony.
That means Ronnie is... Oh, Frank.
Ronnie's pony.
Look, the boy's riding with the masked man.
Thank heaven.
Oh, Silver. Oh, easy, steady, big fella.
Oscar, fella. Oh.
Here's your boy, Higby, safe and sound. There you are, Ronnie.
Ronnie, son.
Oh, may heaven bless you both.
I told you they were my friends, Dad. They aren't outlaws. The masked man gave me the silver bullet.
What? A silver bullet? Hey, that big white stallion and the mask. Mister, now I know you aren't an outlaw. I've heard about you.
Mask or not, they've got my thanks. I'm sure they're not with the rustlers.
Rustlers?
Rustlers took my prize herd. They must have started the fire to attract attention away from the West Range.
They'll head for the border.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Why not ride to the river and follow it to cut them off?
By thunder, that's just what we'll do.
Sure. Maybe you take Roddy back home. We'll go after those rustlers.
All right.
Tonto and I'll ride with you.
Good, let's go.
Come on, settle there!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto, riding with the sheriff and the others, reached the river at the border, then rode northward toward the only possible place where cattle might be taken across. Meantime, the outlaw gang driving the herd had followed the valley northward for a time, then had turned toward the river. Because of the cattle, their progress was slow.
We are approaching the river now. Soon we shall be across with the Longhorns, then we shall be safe.
As they moved the cattle close to the river, they approached a place along the river bank that was studded with large boulders. Suddenly, they were surprised by a fusillade of shots.
It is an ambush! Use your guns, men!
The outlaws were taken completely by surprise. Those who turned to leave found that other men were shooting from behind them. For an exciting few moments, they put up a hard fight. But finally, they were beaten, some of them wounded, and the posse closed in, taking them prisoners. When he saw that the outlaws were captured, Frank spoke to his men.
All right, boys. The sheriff and his men are able to handle these rustlers. All of you get over there, round up my prize cattle. Then start driving them back to the ranch.
Well, we got them all. Mister, your suggestion to come to this point and wait in ambush sure did the trick.
Thanks, Sheriff. This is the Madura gang. Tonto and I came down this way, hoping to help in their capture.
Well, I sure didn't expect to find that no-good Mort Garber with him. Reckon this was his way of getting even for being fired.
Perhaps you'd be able to pick a worthwhile foreman, Higby, if you were more lenient with your men.
Now, hold on. What right have you got to... After all you did for us, I reckon you have the right at that. How about you being my foreman?
No, thanks. Tonto and I have other work to do. We'll come by this way again and stop to see you and Ronnie someday. Goodbye and good luck.
Adios. Man alive. There's one hombre I could really let run the Bar H without interference. Who is he anyway, Sheriff?
He's an hombre whose advice is worth taking, Frank. Yes, sir. The West is mighty proud of the Lone Ranger.
This is a feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated, created by George W. Trendle, produced by Trendle Campbell Enterprises, directed by Charles D. Livingston, and edited by Fran Stryker. The part of the Lone Ranger is played by Brace Beamer.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate this episode within your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. Become one of our ranch hands and unlock some exclusive content. We want to thank our most recent ranch hands, Steve, Technogod, and Craig, who joined us recently. You too can join by going to OTRWesterns.com/donate. Send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com, and you can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyrighted under the attribution, non-commercial, share-alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.